My name is Brett Meisner. As a journalist, music historian, and screenwriter for the last 2 decades, I've had my fair share of fame and fortune. However, the last 3 years of my life has been a living hell, as it appears that I am the victim of a curse that may or may not have been caused by the ghost of the late Jim Morrison. In an effort to end this curse once and for all, I have agreed to spend 24 hours alone in Jim Morrison's former residence, the last known residence he kept in Los Angeles before he departed to Paris. The date? July 3rd, 2006, the 35th anniversary of Jim's death. The place? Room 32 of the Alta Cienega Motel in West Hollywood, California. What you're about to see is 100% real and unscripted. Anything could happen, and anything just might. Will I break on through to the other side? That remains to be seen. But what I'm more concerned about is, will I get out alive, or does no one really here get out alive? In the fall of 1997, I was in Paris traveling with Tom Petty and Mike Campbell at the Tom Petty Band. We did what most people do when they're in Paris. They visit Père Lachaise Cemetery, and more specifically, they visit the gravesite of Jim Morrison.
Who scared you? Why were you born, my babe?
We went to Jim's grave, and it's a beautiful cemetery. There's Chopin, Balzac, all these famous writers and poets. While I was at the grave, we did another thing which most people do. We posed for photographs. At the time, again, this is 97, Tom Petty took a picture of me at the grave. I have a collection of probably 20,000 photos from the last 2 decades. So this was nothing that stood out to me. But in 2003, my assistant was going through doing a polling photo montage for a coffee table book I did. And he wanted to show me a photo, so he took a loop, and he was looking at the negatives and the photos, and I didn't know what was going on. I took a closer look at the photo, and I was blown away. I was just blown away. In 1966, the Doors were probably right at the turning point. I mean, we're talking about a real exciting time in the history of the Sunset Strip. You're talking about bands like Mamas and Papas, Three Dog Night, you got Clear Light, you got all these really exciting things happening. And here you are, you get the Doors. They are the house band at the Whiskey A Go-Go. I mean, a year later, they're signed to Elektra, Light My Fire is up the charts. Jim Morrison was at the top of his game. He had a huge ego, and that's why he's so successful. I mean, LA was the place, it was a natural fit for him. They focused all their energy down in the area of West Hollywood. A little different down there now. But the Alta Cienega Motel was positioned right next to the Doors' offices, Elektra Studios, the bars Jim liked to frequent. Jim going to Paris with Pam was his way of escaping from what was becoming monotonous. I mean, he was having a nervous breakdown, and I understand that. I understand now, living in Hollywood and achieving a certain level of fame, how that the thing you think you want is the thing you want to get away from. And Jim going to Paris was his escape. Little did we know it would be his final departure. No one here gets out alive really hit a home run. The book was later sold to Oliver Stone, and he made a brilliant film out of it. That book is probably responsible for my writing career. When I was in high school in 1981, my teacher at the time, Mr. McMichaels, an English teacher, asked us to write a book report. And I said, you know what, I know right away. The moment he said book report, I'm like, I know what I'm going to do. I had 2 of my friends lock me in a shed, and I took a tab of window pane acid, and something happened. I just started writing. And 7 days later, I emerged with a 42-page single-space document. I submitted this paper to Mr. McMichaels, and he started reading it, and he ended up leaving school early that day. He went home, he read this whole document. Apparently he was, blown away by this, because he took the paper, he actually wrote a letter of recommendation and went out and mailed my book report to the Library of Congress. When he returned home after doing so, Mr. McMichael went into his house, kissed his wife, told her he loved her, went outside his home with a shotgun. He defecated into his own hand, and he wrote "Game Over" on his garage door. Put the gun in his mouth. He blew his brains out. The Library of Congress people contacted me. I ended up getting a grant and a scholarship at NYU. It was a tough time around the school, I'll never forget Mr. McMichaels and what he did for me. Someone's out to get me. Is it Jim Morrison? I don't know, but I'll tell you, if I look back, there's definitely, I could put in a timeline, and when Jim comes in my life, things just start going bad. I lost work. I had a cover story with Rolling Stone magazine on the Grateful Dead that just went south from the gate. I had a show in development with VH1 that, since 2003, this was a go. This is greenlit, and protests broke out, people calling me racist and homophobic, which was just ludicrous. And I lost that show, which really meant a lot to me. I lost my manager. Robin, who later became my wife, was in and out of my life. My relationship with Ming, this Korean pop star, faltered. I couldn't, it was little things, it was large things, it was financial scams. I got scammed by fake Nigerians. If I had to think of some of the worst moments, though, I would think when Robin and I split up, I was pretty low, but at that same time running through my life, I had been mentoring and sponsoring a young boy by the name of Kip Wilson, and Kip had a lot of problems. Later that year, Kip gave in, and it was only a matter of time. I remember getting the call. They found Kip in a gas station bathroom with a tiny needle in his tiny arm. It was not a good time around for me. I was really, really starting to lose it. The straw that broke the camel's back was there was a fire in my neighborhood. I live in a wealthy section of Hollywood up in the hills, and it burned something like 30, 40 acres of land. Now these are multi-million-dollar homes. The fire department's coming, picking up water out of Malibu, and dropped this shark into my pool. So I almost died in my own swimming pool, getting attacked by a tiger shark. I ended up killing the shark with my bare hands. I almost bled to death on the edge of my pool. I was actually rushed to the hospital. Just how random. These are the things I'm talking about. And I gotta think that Jim Morrison may have something to do with this, or at least I gotta believe I gotta do every effort to take back control of my life. And that's why I accepted this bizarre challenge. No turning back now. We're going inside. Goosebumps, man.
When the music's over.
Hello? Oh my God.
When the music's over.
You feel that?
Yeah.
Hello?
When the music's over, turn up the lights, turn up the lights, turn up the lights.
Coming up on 24 Hours in Hell.
At some point, Brett seemed to think that this was his project, and then I started to get calls from the production staff.
I tell you, man, I don't know what's scarier, this ghost and this crew you got following around. I'm claustrophobic, you know that.
He's doing it to prove something. And I don't even know what it is.